What if I told you we're missing a whole chapter of human history? Not just a few lost artifacts, but an entire civilization erased from the record. A civilization with technology we can't explain, architecture we can't duplicate, and rulers so tall they might not have even been human. We're told they never existed. But maps, ruins, and buried cities whisper another story. Let's begin. Walk through the oldest part of any city. You'll notice the clues if you know where to look. Cathedrals with spires so tall and carvings so detailed they seem impossible without modern tools. Star-shaped fortresses, perfectly symmetrical, as if designed from the sky itself. Domes and copper towers glinting like antennas, as if built to catch signals from the heavens. And yet, according to history, these were made by men with hand tools, wooden scaffolds, and horse carts. Somehow, that was enough to carve massive granite columns, to lift seamless stone arches, to forge metalwork that even our factories today struggle to copy. Look closer and the mystery deepens. Stone scorched, warped, melted, as if kissed by fire from the sky. Entrances half buried, windows below ground, entire floors hidden beneath our feet. Why build such beauty if no one was meant to see it? Some researchers suggest these weren't built in the 1800s at all. They were uncovered, excavated, the remains of a world lost to disaster, then repainted with a new backstory. Flip through the photographic record of the late 1800s. City after city, broad avenues lined with stone and marble buildings. Fountains, parks, cathedrals, complete, polished, perfect. And yet, where is everyone? Where are the bustling crowds of a growing metropolis? In many photos, you see only a handful of figures, sometimes just workers. Not building new structures, but digging out buried floors, clearing piles of dirt, pulling debris from half-hidden windows. It doesn't look like construction, it looks like excavation. Like settlers stumbling on an abandoned city and slowly moving in. If these cities were inherited, not built, what else might we have inherited without knowing? For centuries, maps from Europe labeled a vast landmass. Tartaria, stretching from Eastern Europe across Siberia into Mongolia. Not a blank space, maps showed rivers, mountains, towns, even sub-regions. Muscovite Tartary, Chinese Tartary, independent Tartary. Then, by the early 1800s, the name vanishes, not renamed, not conquered. Erased. Historians wave it off, a placeholder, an old word that faded. But how does a name used for centuries disappear overnight? Why do maps show infrastructure, forts, roads, in places where no civilization was supposed to exist? It feels less like evolution and more like deletion. Dig deeper into 19th century archives, newspapers from America, Europe, Asia. Reports of enormous skeletons unearthed in mounds, tombs, sealed chambers. 8, 9, 10 feet tall, buried with weapons and tools so massive no modern man could wield them. Some photographed, some sent to museums, and then lost, misfiled, or quietly reburied. Were they hoaxes, mistakes, or were they too inconvenient for the new script of history? Some believe these giants were the rulers of Tartaria, a bloodline erased along with their empire, because if we deny the people, we can deny their world. Look again at the architecture, tall spires, copper domes, decorations shaped like antennas, historians purely decorative. But copper is a conductor, domes resonate, towers align with magnetic fields. What if these weren't ornaments, but instruments? What if buildings were nodes in a global network, harvesting the Earth's electromagnetic field, broadcasting wireless energy? A science we can barely imagine today. The blueprints remain in stone, but the knowledge to use them, that is what we've lost. All around the world, old buildings sink into the earth. Windows below the street, doors opening into dirt, basements that look like ground floors. The official story: street levels changed, but entire neighborhoods, entire cities. Some researchers say a mud flood engulfed the old world, burying it under soil and debris 200, 300 years ago. What survived was absorbed, repainted, rebranded. A great disaster, followed by a greater silence. And then, the reset. History rewritten. Old buildings claimed as new. Technologies reintroduced under different names. Even the world wars, some argue, were part of erasing the last traces of Tartaria. Cities bombed, monuments toppled, ornate districts replaced with concrete and steel. Remove the buildings and you remove the proof. Remove the proof and people stop asking questions. Mainstream historians scoff. Tartaria was a label, nothing more. Architecture can be explained. Giants were hoaxes. But the anomalies remain. Maps showing vast regions that vanish. Photographs of empty, finished cities. Windows buried beneath our feet. Skeletons described, then erased. Domes and spires repeating across continents. Maybe Tartaria was not one empire, but the symbol of something larger. A forgotten chapter. The theory refuses to die because deep down we sense our history has gaps. That the picture on the box doesn't match the pieces in our hands, and maybe the truth isn't gone, maybe it's just buried.